Hi everybody. Um, just doing it. Today I wanted to just have a little rant or a talk about a video I posted. So I posted a MLM roleplay video where I pretended to be, as anti-MLMers call it, a hun, someone who sells MLM products. And while it is really fun to make fun of them, I do want to clarify something. I think that people who are involved in MLM schemes, most of the people who are involved are victims to a scam rather than something that is funny. I don't know why, but it is quite an emotional topic for me. I don't know anyone that's in an MLM. It was never a part of my life or anything. A couple of months ago, though, I started looking into them. There was this podcast. It's called, it's by Stitch. It's called The Dream. And in the first season, they talk about MLMs. I knew what they were, but I just kind of assumed it was one of those things that bored housewives do. I didn't realize how much it affects. I didn't realize how much it affects people. A lot of behavioral economics goes into how these companies are run and how they can stay active. I wanted to do an educational ASMR on this, but I think my bias is way too deep, and I think rightly so. And if you are someone who's in an MLM and you're an MLM fan, I hope you hear me out still, rather than think I'm stupid or annoying or coming off as better than. That's not my intention. So, there's a lot to it. I mean, there's a lot to unpack, and I want to kind of make my point. MLMs prey on victims that can't afford to do this. It's a scam, essentially. If you look at any income distribution, like income reports from these companies, not all of them release them. I know Mary Kay does, I know a couple of them do, but you'll see that the numbers are staggering. Like 90-something% of people will lose money, barely break even, because it costs money to be a member, and it costs money to continue being a member and to keep your tier up on that pyramid. It's a pyramid scheme. There's nothing else that you can really call it. And I think that I've become very angry at them, at the idea of them. So for businesses that choose to go with a multi-level marketing strategy business model, it's a pretty good deal for them. So let's think about companies that sell products, like actual tangible things. So you could say like LuLaRoe, Mary Kay, even Herbalife. Okay, so they buy their product wholesale. And these are usually really low quality products. LuLaRoe is especially known to have very low quality products, and other cosmetic companies, oil companies, essential oil companies as well. Really low quality, very cheap products. They buy them at wholesale, and then their job is to sell it to distributors, so independent bosses, or whatever you call it, to distributors, at what they call wholesale prices, but they're marking their wholesale prices way up just because it has their name on it, which is a little exciting. Oh, damn it. I wonder if you'll take me seriously. which is their job to do. So their job is actually not to sell you the products as much as it is to sell you an idea, a lifestyle. The lifestyle that they're trying to sell is that you can, it's such an American ideal, like you can start with little investment, and if it's up to you, it's up to you to make money. If you're not making money off of the scheme, you're not putting enough effort in, you're not investing enough money, and that's the kind of mentality that MLMs promote, and I think it's very, very toxic. There's a really good movie that exposes Herbalife, one of the oldest MLMs. It's very old. MLMs been around for a while, and it surprises me how long these companies stay around for, because the market would be quite saturated, and it is. It's very saturated, especially Herbalife. And so the movie is called Betting on Zero, and it's about a hedge fund manager who shorts Herbalife for $1 billion. And if you go on the website of this movie, better bettingonzero.com, it's actually a Herbalife website, which talks about how biased the movie is. It moves you two sides. Well, Herbalife didn't agree to any interviews with the director of the movie, and they told their distributors not to as well, so there was no way to see two sides, so they could say it's biased. But it did expose Herbalife and how it very much affects the Latino community, how they very much target the Latino community in America. I think one of the big things that they also do is target illegal immigrants, because, it's a job. It sounds like a job. It sounds like you're working for a company, and they don't actually employ you. You're not technically employed by them. You're just buying their shit and paying a membership fee to say that your work was done. MLMs just sell this idea. They sell a dream, an impossible dream. And another way they do this is by these ridiculous conferences, these ridiculous events that they can convince their that people are convinced to go to, because they say that if you go to this event, if you go to this conference, it'll change how you sell, it'll change everything, you'll make contacts, blah blah blah. Not only are these ridiculously expensive, pretty much what they do is kind of tell you a bunch of motivational speeches, and that if you are not selling, it is your fault. They do make it sound that way, when again the numbers are not on your side if you are in an MLM. It's incredibly disheartening who they target. They also target a lot of people with a lot of wives of people in the military. Military wives is a big one that they target. And people go into debt, and they really rely on the sunk cost fallacy here, and we talked about in another video, where people have invested money into their store or whatever, into their products, invested so much money into this, that when they're losing money, they just keep thinking, oh no, but I need to keep going because I've already spent so much. MLMs really rely on this fallacy and really try to make you believe it. I really wanted to talk about that, and even though I did make fun of MLMs, I still want to make it very clear that I don't find them very funny. It's satire, but I don't think they're funny. I think that they're incredibly toxic, incredibly evil. I think, it's very important to sort of raise awareness of that. And I haven't gotten any backlash from that video or anything. I'm just doing this just because I feel like it's important to say. I'll link the same resources that I linked in that video down below about different kinds of sources for more information about MLMs if you want to look into that. But that was just my 2 cents. Well, not my 2 cents. It's just disheartening. It's really disheartening. I met someone that was in an MLM, and she was working in a place I was staying. And she was with an MLM called Intertravel, I think it was called that. I work at a hotel, and I know a bit about travel agencies. The idea is that it's even worse. I mean, like, it sounds like a good deal that they give you a platform in order to become your own to become an independent travel agent. And when she told me the name of the place, I was really curious, and I the name of the company. I was really curious. I looked it up, looked into it. I didn't know if it was my place to step in and say something, but I kind of decided to. I asked her if she saw the income reports that they had the year before, and it showed that something like 96.7% of people barely broke even, losing money. And she seemed kind of relieved, actually, when I told her. She was like, yeah, I'm not making any money off of this. I keep trying to go to these seminars, and I'm not making anything, and I'm starting to feel like it's not worth it. If you want to start your own business, I mean, you don't need to do that through an MLM. If you want to become a travel agent, you can do that yourself. There's plenty of legitimate companies that can help you with that. I can give you that platform. And there's plenty, you can make your own website and sell your own things. You can buy wholesale yourself. It just won't have the name. I just don't think that. It's like more of a serious thing, I guess. I don't think that they're funny. It's okay to joke about things that are serious. I do think that it is really serious.